What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, hi, my name is Miguel and I'm actually building a $100,000 passive income portfolio and showing y'all here on YouTube as well as on TikTok. And then obviously answering y'all's questions along the way. And today's video is probably one of the most requested videos that I have gotten in the past 2 months. And that is going to be revealing my entire portfolio for y'all. This is just going to be my stock portfolio reveal. I do have other assets and other alternative savings accounts, but today's video is going specifically over my stock portfolio. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on the video because it helps out the growth of my channel tremendously. And then don't forget to comment what else you want to see next. Or if you like this video and you want me to go more in depth with a specific stock, let me know in the comments. But let's roll the intro. Now usually I go over the portfolio value and then I go into my buys, but because we're going over my entire portfolio, I'm going to do the buys first. The one purchase that I did do on Monday was buying Starbucks. I bought $110.74 worth of Starbucks. That ultimately gave me 1.36 shares of Starbucks at an average price of $81.10 per share. Starbucks is a stock that I have been aggressively buying over the last 2 months now. It's getting pretty high up there in my portfolio, around 7% right now. I'm probably going to slow off on buying more shares, but I do believe in Starbucks in the long run. I love their business model. They're continually opening stores year after year after year. As long as they continue to pay out that dividend, grow stores, doing their share buybacks, which will hopefully be reinstated soon, but right now they are on a union strike, and the CEO is more focused on their employees than the share buybacks. In the meantime, I will reap the rewards of buying at the bottom, or at least in my opinion, what is the bottom, so that when it does go back up to their fair share value, which I believe is around $115, I will definitely reap the rewards and also get paid dividends on top of that. Now, as we can see, the market is still currently open. My portfolio value is currently sitting at $15,897.59. On the day, down about $12 or about 0.8%. On the week, I am up $1.81 or about 0.1%. On the month, I am up $1,112 or about 7.53%. On the 3 months, I am up $409 or about 2.64%. On the year, I am up $1,817 or about 12.92%. And then on the all-time, I am up $2,749.38 or about 20.91%. This dividend portfolio is up about 20% in the last year and a half. That is amazing. I will take that any day of the week. And I have also gotten paid around $600 in passive income, aka dividends. Now I can't complain about that return. The best part is this is only the beginning of my portfolio. I can't wait to see what it looks like in 25 years, but that's what it's currently sitting at right now. And as you see, there are ups and there are downs. What I want to do is just consistently invest every single week, dollar cost averaging in, so that way in 25 plus years, I will be sitting really nicely with passive income in hand. So in the last portfolio reveal that I did individual stocks, which took a very long time. So this time I'm going to break it up into the financial sectors of the stock market. There are 11, but I'm only in 8 of them. So hopefully this video will go by a little bit quicker and you all will still be able to enjoy it. Now the first section that I'm going to go over is technology, with of course the 2 holdings in my portfolio being Microsoft and Apple. With Microsoft I have around 3.42 shares, and that makes up about 6% of my entire portfolio. They are a little bit low right now. My deal is it's hard to justify bringing up my dollar cost average right now, but I should be buying more shares just like I am buying more shares with Apple. It's just hard to justify bringing up my dollar cost average, but I do want them to be around 8% of my entire portfolio, so I am going to put more money into them over the next couple of months. The other stock being Apple, I have 6.62 shares, and that's around 7% of my entire portfolio. I just recently bought more shares of Apple when they were on a downtrend. Just like with Microsoft, bringing up my average cost is really hard, but I know I have to put more money in if I want to reap the rewards in 25 plus years, and I truly believe that these 2 stocks are going to go nowhere but up from now. The next sector that I'm going to go over is communication service, with the first position being the most controversial with AT&T. So as we can see, I have 17 shares of AT&T that make up about 2% of my entire portfolio, but I am down extremely bad right now. As y'all probably already know right now, AT&T took a huge hit in their stock, and that's because their deal with Discovery was finalized this week. So this 17 shares of AT&T gave me about 4 shares of Warner Brothers, which resulted in AT&T stock kind of plummeting. Now they still are a solid dividend company. The thing is, I just don't know if I believe in them anymore. But I am down really bad right now, about 33%. So I personally don't know if I should buy more shares to bring down my dollar cost average, so that when they do go back up, I'll have less of a loss and I can sell out my position. Or if I should just take the loss right now. I don't know. Let me know what you guys are doing about that in the comments. For the time being, I am just going to hold on and see how they perform over the next year. The other stock in communication services is Verizon. With Verizon, I have that 15.49 shares, and they make up about 5% of my entire portfolio, down overall about 4%. With Verizon, they're a solid dividend stock that I feel comfortable with this loss right now. I am just about even with all the dividends that they have paid me so far. I'm completely okay with this position. I know that communication services go up and down like crazy, but I'm not going to buy any more in the near future. I'm just going to let this position ride over the next couple of months. The next section that we have in my portfolio is energy. I have 3 stocks in the energy sector. As we can see, it's Pembina, OKE, and EPD. They're all relatively even, about 3% of my entire portfolio. And as we can see, the amazing thing about these energy sector stocks is that they have had a great return over the past 2 years now. With Pembina, I have those 10 shares, making up about 2% of my entire portfolio, and then I am up overall about 56%. Obviously, I wish I bought more. Hindsight is 2020, but I absolutely love the dividend that I get paid, and I've loved the return that I've gotten so far. With OKE, I have 10 shares. I am up overall about 57%, and they make up about 4.5% of my entire portfolio. An amazing return that I've gotten from this energy sector stock. And with EPD, I have 13.5 shares, and I am up overall about 27%, and they make up about 2.27% of my entire portfolio. Great return from these stocks. The next sector of my portfolio is going to be real estate. I have 2 REITs in this category. With Realty Income, I currently have 14 shares, and as we can see, I'm up overall about 21%. I wish I could say I knew what I was doing with Realty Income. The truth is, I just got really lucky. I bought in because I thought they were a good REIT, and over time, they just consistently went up. I was actually negative on them the first 3 months, but I dollar cost averaged back in, bringing down my average cost and ultimately reaping the rewards, as we can see. The other one I was not so lucky with, AG&C. I had 14.53 shares, and I'm down overall about 18% right now. The reason I bought into this is because they pay a high dividend yield at about 9%. They also pay monthly, so I knew the risk investing into this specific REIT. I'm okay with the return that I got so far because they do consistently pay that dividend out every single month. But again, they make up less than 2% of my entire portfolio, so I'm okay with this risk. The next sector that I have in my portfolio is healthcare. I have 3 stocks in this, with the first one being Johnson & Johnson. I have 2.7 shares, and I am up overall about 14% with Johnson & Johnson. I bought into Johnson & Johnson with a good price. It was under $150 at the start. I bought a couple more shares over the next couple of months after I bought in, but they have been having a pullback over the past couple of months. I do want to pick up more shares of Johnson & Johnson, and I plan on doing that with the money that I get from this next stock, which is Takeda Pharmaceuticals. I have 24 shares, and I am down overall 11%. Not too bad. I know this was a risky stock to invest into. I've gotten paid a decent amount of dividends from them over the past 2 years, and at the end of this year, I'm really comfortable selling this position, probably putting the rest into Johnson & Johnson. Now this next one is MRK. I had 15.56 shares at the time. Now I am up about 12%, or about $150. Now again, I wish I could say that I knew this company was going to go up in value extremely. As we can see with Takeda Pharmaceuticals, I thought they were going to go up in value, but they didn't. After looking at the fundamentals between Takeda Pharmaceuticals and MRK, I thought that they were both on the same track, but once I saw MRK kind of taking off, I focused all of my attention into MRK, and now I'm just reaping the rewards of that. The point of this being, I did my research, I knew the fundamentals of this company, and I knew they were going to go up in value. I just didn't know they were going to go up this much, dollar cost averaging in and just putting time into the market, because we all know that we can't time the market at all. The next sector of my portfolio is consumer defense. I have 4 different stocks in this portfolio. The first one being Coca-Cola. I have 12.69 shares, and I am up overall about 25%. Coca-Cola for me is a no-brainer as a dividend investor. They are a dividend king, which if you don't know, that means they have paid and increased their dividend for the past 50 plus years. And I know no matter what, they are going to consistently pay out that dividend, or at least they have an incentive to right now, to be able to keep that dividend king status. So I bought into them heavy, and now that the rest of my portfolio has grown and caught up to them, I can buy a couple more shares when they have a couple of downtrends in the near future. The next one being Hormel Foods. This is probably one of the stocks that I am most proud of, just like with MRK. I saw something in Hormel Foods, not only because they are a dividend aristocrat, which means they have paid and increased their dividend for the past 25 plus years, but if you've watched any of my YouTube videos over the past year, you know that I was down on Hormel Foods for at least 10 months. But I saw potential in them. I knew where they were going to go in value, so I bought the dip, and I was continually buying every single month. And as we can see, it paid off. I now have 22.7 shares, and I am up overall about 18%, or about $190. I am extremely proud of myself on this one. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I proved that time in the market is always going to beat trying to time it. Going back to the buy that I did do this week with Starbucks, I have 10.03 shares now, and I'm down about 10% right now. Like I said, with all this stuff going on about unionization, their CEO is not focused on share buybacks. I know that eventually they will have share buybacks, and I'm just going to dollar cost average in. It might take a couple of months, it might take a year. But just like with Hormel Foods, I see something in Starbucks that I know is going to go up in value in the long term. And the last one, a no-brainer for me, Costco. I have 2.14 shares. I am up overall about 48%, or about $413 with Costco. For me, Costco is just a no-brainer. Part of becoming an adult is getting a Costco card. It's a rite of passage, and I just think that they're not going away anytime soon. They consistently do share buybacks. They consistently grow year after year after year. In my opinion, this is only the beginning for Costco. I think they're only going to go up in value over the next 10 years, and I'm excited to get paid dividends on top of gains. The next sector that I have is consumer cyclical, and there I have 3 different stocks. First one being General Motors. I have 2.3 shares. I'm up overall about 17%. Now that was just because they announced their electric motor lineup, so I'm personally just going to let it sit and ride over the next couple of years as their electric cars come out, and we'll see how the stock performs. The next one is Ford. I have 14.05 shares. I am down overall about 22%. Now with Ford, they are a good dividend stock. They're almost dividend aristocrats, so I know they have incentive to pay out those dividends. And I personally think that with their electric car lineup coming out in 2025, they are going to go up in value. For the time being, I'm just going to dollar cost average in, and I'm not worried about my return right now. The last one in this sector being Target. I have 5.1 shares, and I am up overall about 4%. Target is just now back on their uptrend. They were negative over the past 3 or so months, but that's okay with me because I believe in Target just like I believe in Costco. I think they're a long-term play, and as we saw even during the pandemic, they were booming. The next sector that I have in my portfolio is financial services. The first one in there is Prospect Capital. I had 26.37 shares at the time. I am up overall at 35%. As you can see, just like with AG&C in real estate, this is a high monthly paying dividend stock. They're at about an 8% dividend yield, and they have consistently paid this every single month, or at least as long as I've had them. And I got extremely lucky. I am positive on them. I bought in at a good time. I wish I had bought more, but hindsight is 2020. Obviously, they make up less than 2% of my portfolio because they are such a high yielding stock, but I can't complain for my return. The next stock is Main Street Capital. I have 10 shares. I am up 15% with Main Street Capital. This is the stock that I bought into to diversify this sector of my portfolio, specifically for Chase Bank, which I have 3.06 shares, and I am down overall about 6%. With Chase Bank, I know they are a long-term play. I believe in them heavy, so I definitely want them to be more in my portfolio. They're just not at the forefront of my portfolio right now. But soon I am going to increase this section in my portfolio. Now the very last section of my portfolio is going to be ETFs. The first one being PEY. This is a monthly paying ETF that I have 10.94 shares of. I'm up overall about 33%. I like having ETFs in my portfolio to give a little bit of stability, and both ETFs pay monthly dividend. The second one being SPHD. As we can see, I have 14.46 shares. I'm up overall about 40%, or about $204 with SPHD. An amazing return from both stocks, but I definitely think I'm going to condense them at the end of the year. I think I'm going to sell off PEY and put it into SPHD just because they have a greater return and their dividend yield is a little bit lower, which is safer. But the truth is, I just like SPHD more. That's personal preference. And then all of these random stocks right here at the bottom, those are all free stocks that I got when people use my link to sign up. Link in bio if you want to sign up if you don't have a portfolio already. But yeah, as we can see, these are all just random ones. I have Coyote, I have LLNW, I have AGEN, I have ONL, I have a little bit of Tesla, then I have WBD, which is the Warner Brothers stock that I got from AT&T. Those are just all miscellaneous. They're not enough. In my opinion, it's not enough to sell out of this position with them because they're free. I do think it's kind of fun to watch these free stocks go up and down, so they are just going to sit in my portfolio probably forever. Whew, that was a lot. In total, that's about 25 stocks. In total, not including those last free stocks, I have 25 stocks in my portfolio, which make up 8 of the 11 sectors of the stock market. And as we can see, my dividend yield is currently at a 3.49% dividend yield. And this portfolio is going to generate roughly $476 of passive income just this year alone. Now, as we can see from all of my other videos, my portfolio is not only doubling in size, but it's also doubling in the amount of passive income that I get. So I will definitely hit $500 by the end of this year. So I think I will hit around $600 of passive income by the end of the year. And then we're just going to continue chipping away at it until we get that snowball effect, which is probably going to be at around $100,000. I'm super excited for this snowball effect to take place. But in the meantime, I'm just going to continue to dollar cost average into the market, buy every single week, because as we all know, time in the market is always going to be trying to time it. Whew, I can finally breathe. I know that was a long video to make, but it was definitely one of the most requested videos that y'all wanted to see here on my YouTube channel. So I hope this helps you give an insight into what I'm thinking about when I'm building a $100,000 passive income portfolio. I know I love seeing these videos. I love seeing what other people are invested into. So don't forget to comment if you have any of the same shares that I have, where you're at in your passive income journey. And then don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And then leave a like on the video because it does help out my growth tremendously. But that's all I have for y'all this week. I will catch y'all next week. Peace.